bring the band in. Woo! Well, all right. Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome back to Between Rounds. It's me and the Magic Man. We're doing this remotely because Michael's a slacker and decided to have the most beautiful baby girl in the history of the world. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. It's awesome being home, and I'm glad I can still do this.
Yeah, man, we're super excited for you. So, hey, we're talking about UFC 312. The co-main event is Weili Zhang and Tatiana Suarez, and then the main event is Strickland and Plessis, their rematch. So,
Yeah,
tell me about it. What you thinking about it?
yeah. So,
Let's start with the ladies first.
yeah, we'll start with co-main. Zhang Weili, she's been, or Weili, however you say her name. I'm bad at this shit, but
Yeah, Bruce
she,
Buffer said it the opposite way that John Anik said it, so I'm scared now too. But she's a
yeah,
great
who
fighter
knows?
regardless.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That little lady can pack a punch. She's a super strong competitor, and when I go back and I watch her fights, I see that shine more. She's extremely disciplined. Uh, she actually has started wrestling a lot more in her fights than she did previously. She used to like to just kind of come out, blitz people really hard with her like strong hands, throw a lot of kind of front kicks to the head and stuff like that, but she's developed her game more through the years and started wrestling girls. Now she's not going to be able to wrestle Suarez. Um, for those that don't know, Suarez is like a 12-time national champ, women's wrestler. She probably would have been an Olympic medalist had she not gotten cancer and had to pull out of the 2012 games. But she beat cancer. She's a phenomenal wrestler, and her grappling has only gotten better because she's stinking engaged to Patchy Mix, and Patchy
Who's
Mix
not a
is
bad
just
fighter.
yeah,
She's
he's not too bad himself.
yeah.
So I just see the wrestling being a little bit too much for Wele, but I mean, what do I know? I'm only undefeated in calling fights.
Well, are you? Are you though? I had a card I went 0 for 12 on once. That was nice. I'm really an
Yeah,
expert at this stuff.
makes you
You
feel
know
good
what?
about yourself.
I was doing some research on this. Whaley's been in. She's been in 7 title fights in her 10, like 7 out of 11. This will be 8 out of 12 have been
Holy
championship
cow!
fights. So man, talk about experience. And
Yeah,
the moment won't be too big for her, no
no,
matter
no,
what. You agree? Like
yeah,
she's a stud performer. I kind of think the same thing as you. As I watch the tape on Tatiana, though, she has trouble with her entrances. She doesn't have good
yeah.
low entrances, even
No,
against.
she dives in a bit.
Yeah, but she's sticky. So once she gets
Yes,
hold of a leg, she's got you on the fence, and she's sticky there. She's
yes,
kind of alternated finishes and decisions. I
yeah,
I think that Weili is going to be smaller
yes,
size wise, but I think the speed difference for me the only kind of not the only chance. Weili's a good fighter, and she's been working. Josh Hinger has been her jiu-jitsu coach. She's been working on her ground game. She submitted Carla Esparza, who was kind of the Tatiana
she was.
Suarez.
Yeah, she was the wrestler girl before Tatiana.
Yeah, I mean, and Carla wasn't a finisher. She was definitely more conservative, I guess you'd say. So if Tatiana get caught reaching for that collar tie and gets caught up the middle, you never know. But I got Tatiana Suarez in a 5-round decision. But man, Whaley's going to give her trouble for the first couple of rounds, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be the whole who can get a hold of who can not get a hold of who first, because obviously Tatiana wants to get a hold of her, but it's going to be who can get their game plan going first.
Yeah.
And Waylay's quick, but also I wanted to be like, oh, Tatiana's hands aren't that great, but we haven't seen her much because she's had to battle through so many different injuries.
Yeah.
And so that her hands have just been developing this whole time, right? I've been out back-to-back surgeries, and I feel like my hands have gotten tremendously better, but nobody in the world would know that. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see a very much more polished version of Tatiana this fight. And I've got her by Darce choke. I think she gets a Darce.
I don't
I think
know,
she's
man.
I think she's
She
gonna be
gives.
too strong on the ground.
She could be, and she'll give up that. She'll get side mount or half guard, and she
Yep.
lets people up to go to the front headlock. Like
Yeah.
she does it multiple times, and she does have Darce
Mhm.
finishes, guillotine finishes.
Yep.
I feel like Weili's going to be very ready for that and is a little quicker there, but it could
Yeah.
be. I think if she gets worn down, like if Tatiana can put her on her back, wear her down, make her grapple, slow her down a bit, I think it becomes a pretty easy fight for Tatiana. If
Yep.
Weili's able to get her game started early and pepper her up and make her start shooting bad shots, who knows?
Yeah.
But I
And Weili, she hits hard for a little girl.
she does
I don't want to
that.
get cracked by her.
Well, her and Andrade stand in the pocket. Nobody wants to stand there with Andrade, but she
No.
dropped her with it and won the fight. So
Yeah. Yeah.
she she can win the fight there. It is going to be a in our sport, if you're a really really good wrestler, it's hard to
Yes.
deny you. And
Yes. Yes.
Tatiana's a really really good wrestler. So
Yep.
so we both agree on that one.
Yep.
You,
Darce.
you're just following me. You're just copying me
Yeah.
because I've had such.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
oh, that's right. You're up like you're up 4-0 and I'm 2-2. Damn it. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm following you. All right. So we got the main event now, a rematch, Strickland and Duplessis coming
Yeah.
in.
We got stupid Strickland and arrogant Duplessis.
Who do you like?
Ah, so I've been going back and forth in my head a lot on this one. I'm kind of tired of betting against Duplessis because he might be the ugliest technical fighter of all time for his level, right? There's obviously been some turds that have fought on the local level, but for a UFC world champ, technically he might be the worst of all time.
You know, they said he was a K1 guy. Like he trained with K1 guys. He does
What?
not look like a K1 guy.
No, he makes my stand up look good
Oh,
when I first started. Like
yeah.
he's stiff, he's got weird length, and the dude's tough. The dude is tough as nails. You cannot take that away from him. He finds ways to implement his game plan. Which is who knows what it is, get in a dogfight and try to dive in on a low double and just
Yeah.
get the dude gassed out. But
Well, he's got
and
such
then you go,
power. You know,
yeah,
when they get in there and he has that high middle guard, and
yep,
so he'll absorb some and look like he's hurt, and then he
yeah.
just throws some fucking bomb and
Yeah,
the guy
and I don't
falls
even
down.
know. Yeah, I don't even know if he ever is hurt or if he's just got such bad footwork underneath him that he kind of just looks like he's falling all over the place.
He's letting people, dragging him into the
Yeah,
trap.
yeah, he is.
But I thought he was hurt in a couple of those fights, and he ended
Yeah,
up dropping a bomb out of there and winning.
yep. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? I think if you're going to beat Duplessis, you have to have extremely good cardio, which Strickland has. You've got to have very good wrestling, offensively or defensively, because he's going to try to wrestle, right? And no one's really seen Duplessis get out wrestled. Um, but we know Strickland's not going to do that. And you've got to have like a ton of heart, and you've got to stay cool in those weird kind of explosive movements that he presents to it, right? Like if you got a guy just running at you throwing 1-2 overhands the whole fight, like that's a lot to deal with, and it takes a lot out of your game plan. But I think Strickland won the first fight,
Yeah. Well,
so
as I went through this, I did a breakdown, and I had Strickland win in the first round easy, and then
yeah.
he kind of went away from his jab and his teeps.
Yes, yes.
Second round was a coin toss. Like I couldn't tell who won really.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sort of leaned towards Duplessis
I would
just
say
because.
Duplessis is just off of like damage almost.
Well, and the cut wasn't there yet. The cut wasn't there till
Yeah,
the third,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Duplessis' eye was kind of swollen up after the second. So
yeah.
but he got a couple of clean doubles in there. Didn't do any
Hmm.
damage. And then 3 and 4 were him. I thought Duplessis won both those rounds.
Yep, yep,
Strickland won 5. So
yeah,
in almost every case, it came down to that second round, which way you
yep,
saw it,
yep.
and it
Yeah.
was razor thin. Like it
Yeah,
could
I
have
was
gone either
mixing
way.
up rounds. You're right. The second was the one that I was thinking.
Yeah,
But I've talked a lot about Duplessis. Strickland's as game as they come. He's tough as shit. He's gonna dog walk you down the whole time. But I just hate that he's maybe gonna be a champ again off of a jab and a teep and a shitty attitude. I just have a hard time liking him, but the good thing about him is he stayed true to himself, and that's really who he is in real person. He's really just a obnoxious asshole. So good for him, I guess, for being him.
Yeah, those fight weeks are tough because he gets the microphone a lot, and it gets
Yes.
tough to endure. I
Yeah.
would like to see for Strickland to win, he's got to keep the same thing he did in the first round. Like he
Yep.
checked, Duplessis works his offense off his kicks. He wasn't able
Yep.
to do that because Sean did a really good job checking kicks. Sean is
Yeah.
notorious for not checking kicks, right?
Yeah.
But in that fight, he did a great job, and it really
Yeah.
slowed Duplessis down. But rounds 3 and 4, Sean he wasn't doing any of that. And so
Yeah.
while he wasn't getting hit clean, he was getting taken down. He was getting pushed around the ring. And
Yep.
then in round 5, he just decided to shift gears and go back. I, I think he could do that for all 5. I don't know
Yeah.
why he couldn't do that for all 5. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Duplessis, I'm coming out. I'm sprinting to the middle, right? It's super important when you are that person that fights pressure heavy. Like I really struggled with it against Tim Wild because right at the beginning of the second, he just met me at the middle and he got his jab going, and then I was on the back foot, and it made me tired and it made me frustrated. I couldn't get going on my forward pressure, right? And I think when Dracus did that to Sean, it really changed the game, right? So if I'm Duplessis, I'm coming out, I'm taking the middle, I'm eating some teeps just to keep that forward pressure, and I think it is a completely different fight. And I think Dracus wins this fight. I really do. I think he's awkward. He's been in there with Sean before. Sean has been a veteran of the game for so long. You know what you're getting with him. You know you're getting the Philly shell. You know you're getting jabs. You know you're getting teeps. He doesn't have crazy knockout power, and he's not going to out wrestle you and strangle you. He's going to win a 5-round decision probably, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that against Dracus. I think Dracus brings too much to the table, and he's shown that he's got a fucking tank.
Yeah. A weird looking tank.
A
Like
weird looking tank.
he doesn't look like he has the tank, but he keeps going.
Yes.
I would I'm picking Strickland, and
You're picking Strickland.
I
You're
am.
picking Strickland because you like his coach. That's what you're doing.
He's got one of the best coaches in the game. But
Yes.
having seen Dracus before and the things that worked, that shut Dracus's attacks down,
Yep.
I think they do that. And then he fought him with Tavares. He fought Dracus to a decision as well,
Yep. Yep.
from Extreme Couture.
From Extreme Couture.
Eric Nixick, you're the man. Keep
Yep.
doing it, brother.
Yep. Oh,
So
also, I just remember this though too. What's it called? Oh, I saw Strickland's been training with Johnny Eblin, so his wrestling defense is gonna be great. Johnny Eblin's as good as they come to an MMA wrestler.
Well, that was a while ago. I don't think Johnny's been out there, but maybe they're friends and
Yeah.
they've trained
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Yep.
And Johnny's a tough motherfucker, boy.
Tough, dude. He's tough.
He's the real deal. I
Hmm.
feel like with Strickland, what are he's had 15 of his fights go to decision. 6 of the last 7 are decisions,
Yep.
and
Yep.
4 of those are split decisions. This one's going the distance for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really close. I think if Sean just fights, if he just teeps 4 times in the second round, he's already the champ. That's
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
the fight's not what we're talking about.
Yep. Yep.
So at least I have a chance to gain some ground on this one.
Yep.
Try to pull up next to you on the winning
No,
long
actually,
column.
I'm taking my pick. I'm taking my pick back. I've got Strickland.
Oh,
No, no, no. I'm
you.
sticking with Dracus. I'm sticking with Dracus. I can't ever get away from people that try to wrestle as hard as I fight it.
Yeah. Well, so that's it. So we got who in the ladies fight. You
Yep, I've
got
got Tatiana Suarez by Dars,
I
and then
got
I've got
Tatiana
Dracus
by.
by
Go ahead.
I've got Dracus by decision.
I got Tatiana by decision, and I think I got Strickland by like the thinnest of ugly. Wish
Yeah.
we hadn't watched it. Split decisions. I think it's going to be, man. It's hard. Like when we fought Strickland, his kicks and his teeps or his jabs and his teeps were hard to get through. And Dracus
Yep.
obviously struggled with that. And
Yep.
I know their coaching stuff. And I'm not saying Dracus's coaches are bad. They're not. They've obviously trained a world champion. But
Yep.
I I reluctantly I picked Strickland in a very very close fight. All right,
Yeah,
you
I can
guys. So
respect that.
we'll have this up on YouTube. So give us a like, a follow, and tell us who you think is going to win this fight.
Yep, and tell us what you want to see from us, guys. We always love that. We're coming up with ideas just as you guys are. And thanks for tuning in again. This has been a fun journey, and it's only going to get better.
Congratulations again, Michael. Love you, boy.
Thank you, guys. Love you.